Okay, let's unpack this. Today we're taking a deep dive into the latest developments shaping Canada, pulling some fascinating insights from this Canadian economic and geopolitical review you've shared. Our mission really is to pull out the most important nuggets, helping you quickly grasp what's, truly happening. Economy, global stage, even some key social markers.
Yeah, and what's really captivating, I think, is how these points that seem separate, they don't just stand alone. They actually connect, they weave together to paint a much broader, sort of more nuanced picture of Canada right now.
Okay, let's jump straight into the economic landscape then, because the numbers, well, they tell an interesting story. Your review notes inflation held remarkably steady, 1.7% in May. Now, on the surface, that might sound okay, but there's something deeper going on here, isn't there?
Absolutely. It seems a bit counterintuitive, right? Inflation stable at 1.7%, which is, still a touch below the Bank of Canada's usual 2% target. Yet everyone expects them to deliver a rate cut in July.
Right. So why cut if prices aren't really spiraling?
Exactly. It suggests the Bank of Canada might be less concerned with current prices and maybe more worried about the underlying economic pulse being a bit sluggish. Perhaps they see a slowdown coming.
So trying to get ahead of it. Stimulate things before they cool off too much.
Precisely. It feels like managing future expectations, not just reacting to today's numbers.
And speaking of those underlying factors, your sources also mentioned that decline in Canadian factory sales in May. That certainly adds weight to the idea of the central banks looking beyond just inflation for that rate cut decision.
It really does. A dip in factory sales that covers everything from aerospace to food production. It often points to softening demand, either here at home or, from key export markets.
Meaning fewer goods being produced, sold, which can ripple out.
Yeah, affecting jobs, investments. So when you put that together with stable, even slightly low inflation, it reinforces that idea that the bank is likely prioritizing growth, trying to prevent a deeper dip, rather than worrying about the economy overheating right now. It's a key indicator.
But it's not all about current dips or past performance. Looking ahead, there's BC. The economy there is gearing up for a pretty significant boost from the FIFA World Cup. This isn't just about the soccer games themselves, is it? We're talking real economic benefits.
Oh, absolutely. The World Cup is more than just a sporting event. It's like a massive economic injection. While the exact figures always vary, these major events can bring in hundreds of millions, easily, maybe more. Direct tourism, indirect spending, jobs in hospitality, transport.
Construction too, I imagine. And long-term infrastructure improvement.
Exactly. It sets the stage for a really substantial lift, potentially offsetting some of those manufacturing slowdowns we mentioned. Gives you a glimpse of future drivers.
Okay, shifting gears a bit from the economy. We also learned Canada and the EU recently signed a new security and defense pact. What does an agreement like that tell us about Canada's place, its role, on the global stage right now?
Well, if you connect it to the bigger picture, it really underscores Canada's evolving role. It's becoming more proactive in international security. In a world facing some really complex geopolitical challenges, this pact with the EU isn't just paper. It signifies a deepened commitment to collective security, sharing intelligence, coordinating responses.
So positioning Canada as a key player in those alliances.
I think so, yes. Strengthening democratic alliances, addressing global threats. It feels like a move beyond maybe traditional peacekeeping towards more direct strategic engagement. It's a clear signal of priorities.
And finally, on a more somber but really important note, Ottawa recently memorialized the anniversary of the Kanishka bombing. And for you listening, this tragic event, it isn't just a historical footnote.
No, indeed. The Kanishka bombing back in '85. It's still one of the deadliest acts of airborne terrorism ever. 329 lives lost, mostly Canadians of Indian descent. Memorializing it each year isn't just about remembering the victims, though that's crucial. It's a profound moment of national reflection.
Go.
Well, this act of remembrance, it reminds us that a nation's identity is deeply shaped by how it processes, how it reflects on past traumas. It connects a current event, the memorial, to this huge historical tragedy that fundamentally altered the country's approach to security, to multiculturalism even. It's a powerful testament to resilience and that ongoing search for justice.
So when we bring all these different threads together, what does it all mean? We've touched on interest rate shifts, factory output, big international agreements, and these really profound acts of national remembrance.
Yeah, what we've seen today isn't just like a list of separate headlines. It's more of a dynamic snapshot of Canada at Maybe a pivotal moment. The subtle economic adjustments, the strategic alliances being built in a complex world, even the echoes of past tragedies, they all kind of converge, painting this evolving picture of a nation actively figuring out its identity, its path forward. It's never just one thing, is it? It's always the interplay.
So, a final thought for you to consider. What really stands out to you when you think about how these different elements, the economy, the global ties, the historical memory, how they all contribute to the current identity and, I suppose, the trajectory of a nation like Canada? Something to ponder.